Where is he?
Where are you? Skull Rock. Do you know it?
Hello, this is Stacy over at the Skull Rock broadcast. I am joined by...
Hello, this is Megan. Welcome back to our Stranger Things podcast. We are so excited to be back. I know we had an episode last week, but we actually recorded that episode a few weeks ago. So I missed you.
I missed you too.
And we've missed you guys. So we are excited to kind of catch up a little bit today. And how's it going, Stacy?
It's going better now.
Good.
For people that don't know, I was planning on joining Megan and our friends to New York to see the first Shadow.
Yep.
I keep calling it the last Shadow. See, I wasn't meant to go, guys. I don't even know the freaking name. And I was all set to go, and unfortunately, I came down with COVID. And it was brutal, and it was really horrible.
Yeah.
I usually turn into a frail Victorian child dying whenever I get sick. And this was pretty tough, and I was bummed that I was going to miss it. But my doctor was like, oh, this would have been bad, and you would have definitely gotten everybody sick. There's a lot of walking. And I'm like, you know what? This was meant to be. So you were very sweet. You called to check in and stuff. And I'm on the mend. I'm doing much better, getting healthy, for the Joe tour. But today you're going to kind of be filling me in on the weekend, telling me a little bit about the show without spoilers and, just letting me know about the vibes that weekend because it looked like you guys had a blast.
Yeah. So obviously we would have told you guys all about our weekend no matter what. But since Stacy couldn't come, which I was so bummed about.
Sally's sickly, yeah.
I missed her, and I really haven't told her too much about the weekend yet. So we get to catch up about it, and you guys get to listen in on that. We've been chatting a little bit, and I'm just excited to keep kind of chatting and catching up. So that'll be fun today. So
how are you doing, my dear? What's up?
I'm pretty good. My spring break is coming up, so I just have this week left, but I'm a little anxious about a couple of things this week. But other than that, I'm okay. I'm trying not to get sick also. I feel like my allergies have been killing me. So I'm like, I need to stay healthy.
A lot of vitamin C gummies, girl.
Yeah.
But this week has been kind of exciting, huh?
It's been an exciting week because we're gonna acknowledge this, but not go too deep into it because we're gonna do it.
Show restraint.
Yeah, we're gonna do a whole episode about it. But the new album, Joe's new album, The Crux, dropped on Thursday, right?
It was Thursday at midnight, right?
Friday, yeah. So Thursday at midnight, Friday. I did not stay up till midnight to listen to it. So I just listened to it on Friday.
I set an alarm. I was like, over COVID. I can't stay up all night. And we're going to do an episode where we, do a bit of a deep dive on it. First impressions, it's so good. We love the vibes. We've talked a little bit about it privately. It was well worth the wait. I got my first of vinyls. It looks great. It looks really cool. I'm sure if anybody follows me on social media, shout out to New Hampshire Donut Company. Once a year, you can get whatever designs you want for free. Of course, Stacey's a rewards member at her local donut shop. So I got some, to celebrate the Crux. But I was telling Megan, I don't really have my taste back yet. So everything tastes like cardboard. And you have to get a dozen no matter what. So, I took some cute photos because I'm that asshole. And I had one, and I'm like, this tastes like cardboard. I don't have my taste back. And I refuse to waste food. So I had to go to my post office, and I am not close with the mailman at all. But I brought in the huge box. And I was like, hey, fellas, I have all these leftover donuts. You want them? And they're just looking at all these Joe Keery donuts. And they're like, what's on them? And I was like, this is going to be too much to explain. So I was like, they're from a birthday party. So, you know what? The mailmen are celebrating the release of The Crux as well.
Oh my gosh, I'm dying.
There's a lot going on, but today we're going to just hear about New York, which I am pumped about. Do not spare any details.
Okay.
And I'm going to feel like I was there instead of chugging Pedialyte and coughing up a lung. So take it away.
Oh, yeah. So where do I start?
Where do you start?
I took the bus.
You get a text message from Stacy. By the way, not coming, positive.
I feel like I didn't know you were definitely not coming until I was already in New York because you were coming later.
Yeah, I knew something was up when I tried to pack my backpack and I was so weak I started to cry. I was like, maybe I should go to the emergency room. So I informed you and you were on your bus. How long was your bus ride?
It's like under 3 hours. And
not bad.
I got up there. Our friend Rachel had come from California. So I went to meet her at like the train station because she took the train from the airport. And as soon as I got her, then we met up with Brandy and Andy at the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So like we all met up really quickly. I was walking to go get Rachel, and I knew when we were in Georgia, like Rachel and I met up first also, and I wanted to get coffee. Yeah, and I knew she wasn't really a coffee person, so I was like, I need to get coffee like as I'm getting her, like, and not wait until she's with me. So I see this Dunkin', and I'm like, I get Dunkin' all the time. Like,
me too.
I'm in New York. Like, there has to be like a better coffee shop. Like, so
yeah.
I like stop quickly and just like Google like coffee shops near me, and there was like literally right next to the Dunkin', but you wouldn't know it's there because it doesn't have a big flashy sign. Is this like super cute little local coffee shop, and so I go in there and I get a cappuccino, and like it was had plants everywhere. It was so cute. Like
Megan loves plants.
I do. So I was like, I'm off to a great start. Like just
already vibing your vibes. Yep.
Yeah, and I had planned a lot, but I did not go to the level of like planning out the coffee shops I was going to go to. Like,
true. Okay.
Gotta let some things be like spontaneous.
That is smart though. My friend from Illinois always tells me, she's like, why do you always have Dunks? And I'm like, I'm from New England. It's in my blood. She goes, Google local coffee shops and you will find some cool stuff. So I'm glad that you did that.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then we got to the hotel and were able to leave our bags, which was nice because check-in wasn't until later. But they took our bags and we're holding them. So like I had only packed like a really small backpack because I thought I was going to be carrying it around all day. Yeah. But like I was like, if they're going to hold it for me, I even gave them my backpack because I was like, it'll be nicer to not, be walking around with a backpack on.
Hell yeah.
So this part of the trip, I was kind of like, I don't know if you guys want to do this with me. Like, you don't have to do this with me, but this is what I want to do right now. Because I wanted to like walk, like there's this elevated like walking trail thing called the High Line.
You're that guy.
Yeah.
It's going to hike.
Well, because I've done like some of the super touristy things in New York, like gone out to see the Statue of Liberty and like gone to the top of the Empire State Building and like I've taken the Staten Island Ferry. That's like a nice way to like get out on the water, and you can you're kind of far from the Statue of Liberty, but you can see it like, and it's just like paying for like a subway ride. It's like super cheap, but it's you're on a boat. So I've done that. Also, I've been to Central Park multiple times.
So you would say like over your travels over the years, you've done like the tourist stuff. You've done the like bucket list stuff. So
yeah, I've done a lot. So I was trying to find something that we could do, or that I could do at least, that I hadn't done.
Okay, yeah.
So like there's this new kind of neighborhood called Hudson Yards that has some like big modern skyscrapers, and that was pretty close to our hotel. So we and there's this really weird, like, I think Brandy said it looked like an upside down pine cone. Like it's just like stairs and walkways though. I did not make them walk up that.
Oh, you took a picture of it and you sent it to me. I was like, with a fever going, what the fuck is that?
So we didn't do that, but we saw it. And then the elevated, it's like a old railroad track kind of thing. Like a train used to be up there.
Stranger Things coded.
Yes. We were like, oh, like stand by me. Like we're walking on the railroad tracks. We did say
was
that.
Was it in a really hard incline, like a hill?
No, it was flat. Like, because you walked up stairs to get up there, and then you're just up there and it's flat.
How many stairs?
It was just like one stairwell.
Oh,
it's
here
not
I am,
super high.
Girl, I'm telling you, like our stadium around here is Gillette. there were so many goddamn stairs. I'm fighting for my life and nobody else is winded. And I'm literally like, this is the staircase that never ends. Like people that walk up the Empire State Building.
Yeah, that's
Are you
insane?
insane?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so
this
that
was like
seems like
walking up
doable.
maybe like 2 stories high. Like
Stacey's winded. Winded hearing it.
And then it's just a flat walk, but you're elevated and you're up above the street, and like there's
Was
art.
it pretty?
Yeah, there's like art installations, and like the architecture of the buildings around there was really cool. So it was fun. It was a nice walk.
I love that.
And you're not like walking super fast because there was a decent amount of people walking, even though it was like Friday during the day.
How was the weather?
Oh, Friday ended up being a lot nicer than we expected because I thought it was going to be like overcast and cool, and it was like warm and sunny on Friday. But that was nice. And then towards the end of it, we were by where it's called Chelsea Market, and it's like this really old building. It used to be like the Nabisco factory, and it's where Oreos were invented.
Bitch. Oh my God.
So that's the history of that building, but they've turned it into like this market where there's like shops, like gift shops, bookstores, like little restaurants, and
quaint kind of a vibe.
Food vendors. Yeah, really cute. And so we like walked around there. We went into a bookstore. Rachel was like, I want to see a pizza rat, like Ninja Turtles.
That footage of that rat in the subway dragging the pizza, it's probably my favorite gif of all time.
But so she found I found
That's
it.
What that was?
That was a sticker that I found at the bookstore. And I was like, Rachel, I'm buying this for you. We found a pizza rat.
The only photo of Rachel out of all the photos you sent me is her kissing that rat thing. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
That's adorable.
And it was funny because we got to Chelsea Market and we like sat down at like just this little like wine bar, and we got a seat at the corner, and then it exploded in there. Like all these people came in. Like there was this rush. There was a huge line for like something right behind us. Like there was no seats left anywhere. I was like, oh, we got here at like the exact right
good
time.
Timing.
Yeah, because we had a couple drinks, and like it was just so cute, and I had like a mimosa. It was delicious. So
the sunset or sunrise one?
Yeah.
Girl,
sunrise mimosa.
You know how to pick a drink. When you told me that, I was like, oh, yeah, I would have been vibing. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't really had anything to eat yet that day, so I was like...
So, you really enjoyed that drink, girl.
Yeah. But we were like, oh, we need to get food after this, but you
gotta tell me about the food.
We were like a little over a mile from like the hotel and where we needed to get back to, so we were like, we'll take an Uber.
Yeah, a mile after walking, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we got back towards the hotel and we went to a pizza place, which was
it's good, girl.
So good.
Pizza's my all-time favorite food, and like that was like one thing I was a little bummed out about because I've never been to New York.
Yeah.
How is New York pizza?
It's great. I mean, I've only had it a couple of times, but this was delicious, and it was called NY Pizza Suprema. It was like a real old like local family-owned place, and
love that.
When you Google or like look at like Reddit threads about like pizza places in New York, everybody has lots of opinions, and like there's a lot of like fighting about which is the best and everything, but like I'm pretty sure if you're like not from New York and you're just going to New York and having pizza,
you don't
like
freaking know.
It all tastes pretty good. But
you're living your best quiet place day one life.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
That.
So this was like the best pizza in the area where we were by our hotel. Like we weren't gonna like, walk another half a mile just to go to a different pizza
kind of
place.
Pizza?
One slice that I got was called Upside Down Pizza. Very Stranger Things coded.
You sticking to its theme. What was on it?
It's upside down because it was like a little bit thicker like crust, but the cheese is like under the sauce. So it's like the bread and then the cheese and then the sauce is on top of that.
I would have murdered that.
It
my God.
was really good. And then the other piece was like a garlic white pizza.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was
good
really
choices.
good too. I I wished we had gone back there and gotten more pizza. I should have gotten more pizza there before I left. So then after that, we still had a little bit more time to kill. So I had, again, done my research. So I
Of
found
course.
this like dive bar type place that was pretty close to our
nice.
hotel. And I was like, Brandy, they give you a free hot dog with every beer.
Shut up.
She was like, sold.
Yup. Exactly.
I forget what it was called. Let me look it up real quick.
I love hot dogs. Oh my God.
And it was
I
a
bet
really
in New York
cool,
hot dog's good.
It was a cool vibe. I don't eat hot dogs, obviously, and they didn't have like vegetarian ones, but
Vegetarian hot dogs. Oh, I adore
it
you.
was called Rudy's Bar and Grill.
Oh, I like that.
It's a dive. There's it's cash only, free hot dogs. That's what I had in my notes app.
I like that. All the important points. Now, did you just have beer, or were you like having a drink?
Yeah, we had beer. So I wanted to try this, like, it was like a local beer. I forget what it was called. It's like a New York beer, but I wanted to try the sour because I like sour beer.
Really?
And they got like a pitcher of like the regular, like whatever, and it was cheap too. Like I bought the pitcher and my beer. I spent less than a 20, including tipping the bartender.
Girl, if
For a
we ever
pitcher
go
of beer,
to the city together, we're going there.
A pitcher of beer plus an additional beer and 3 hot dogs for everybody except me. Like,
Holy
for
shit.
under $20. Yeah.
That's unheard of in New York.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. It was
Wow.
awesome.
But no, that's a great fucking price. And like the vibes were pretty cool, like laid back.
Yeah, it was super laid back. The actual bar was pretty crowded and dark, but they had like this like backyard. Like, it wasn't really
Oh, cool.
outside. But it was like a back part patio, but like covered, and yeah, so it was cool. And then we finally could check into our hotel.
Love that.
So we did that, got like freshened up a bit, and then we went to dinner with
Ooh,
Juan.
where'd you go?
Um
Juan, shout out to
I
Juan.
know, shout out Juan. So we had to, it was like this restaurant that was on this little strip of restaurants that was right on like the street where the theater was.
Oh, nice.
So it was like really convenient because we only had a quick little walk over to the theater.
Yeah.
And I like, when I made the reservation, I was like, oh, we have an 8:00 show. So they were like super fast and like got our food really quickly and everything. It was called the Backstage Tavern. So a lot of those restaurants on that little strip were kind of like fancy and like expensive.
Bougie.
And yeah, we were
This
like,
was more kind of like pub grub?
yeah, it was like, it wasn't pub grub, but it was like more casual for sure.
Like that. Yeah.
And they sat down, and I don't know, I used one of those apps to make the reservation, and I think I might have like my settings on there to say like vegan, because I've been like vegetarian, vegan in the past. So we sit down and the guy's like, so somebody's vegan? And
You're like, how did you know that?
I was like, no, pescatarian. And he was like, oh, well, if you're pescatarian, you should definitely get the salmon bowl. And I was like, okay, that's what I want.
Real? See, I'm not a salmon gal.
I like salmon, and this was really good. Like, it was
Yeah.
this huge piece of salmon, and really seasoned really well. And then it had like all of these like veggies and stuff, and had like a really
Look at
good
you being
dressing.
healthy.
Yeah, so it was like delicious, but also felt like healthy.
I would have been dunking hot dogs in the beer, so
Yeah,
that's good.
Well, you could have done that at the place before that. Yeah,
Right away, I'm
everybody's
like, do you serve hot dogs?
everybody's
No.
food looked pretty good. I can't remember what anybody else got, like wraps and sandwiches. I think Juan had a burger, that kind of thing.
Nice.
Dinner was really great, and then we're sitting there, and I'm like, Juan, Stacy's not here. Like,
Stacy's on her
I was
deathbed.
like, we have an extra. We're about to, like, we're
I
literally.
love that it dawned on
It
you
didn't
just
dawn
like that.
on me until we were literally about to leave dinner, and I thought I was like saying goodbye to him, and I was
So
like,
smart.
wait, why don't you just come with us? Like, we can't sell it to anybody else at this point. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, do you
You're
want to
so smart.
go? And he was like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure she would love for you to go. Like,
It's what she would have wanted. I'm so glad it didn't go to waste, though. And I love one. So as soon as you told me that, I was like, good. Because right away, I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. You
Yeah.
know? That's perfect.
Yeah. So, also, did Brandy tell you more about Seth Rogen?
No.
I was really going to let her tell you this story. And you already talked to her, right? Like,
fill me in. Yeah.
So as we were walking to dinner, we're just like walking down the street, and it was really awkward because like there were two buses, and like it was time for us to walk across the street.
Yeah.
The little white man comes up on the
Yeah,
screen.
he's like, you can go now. Yeah.
So it was time for us to go, but like there was two buses like blocking the intersection, so we were like walking in between the two buses, and
I would
then
have definitely gotten hit by cabs. Yeah.
and then we're walking a little bit further, and like Brandy makes this face at me, and I was like, I thought she was just like, oh, it's like so crowded on the street, like we're walking between buses, like this is crazy. And then like I would just like look, and I like keep walking. We get like a little bit further, and she was like, did you guys not see that? And I was like, see what? And she was like, oh, I mean, I made that face, and I thought we were all just being real cool, like that you guys.
Goodbye. The rest of you totally fucking unaware.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she was like, we were just walking literally right next to Seth Rogen. And I was like, you're serious? Like,
you would have done the dice move if you would have seen him.
I know. I was like, I just talked about that on the podcast with Stacey.
Love that.
But yeah, so she was like, well, this is going to be like I'm seeing a celebrity face. Like, if I make that face at you again.
There's a
like...
celebrity. I love that so much.
So that's a little foreshadowing for what happened a little bit later, because this was insane. Where we leave dinner, we walk to the theater, which is like a block, and then we realize that there's this really long ass line, and because the doors are already open, but like they're just getting everybody in, and
did it look cool as shit outside? Like
outside was like okay, there was like a couple like it was. I mean, yeah, and I'm like in like. I wasn't really like paying much attention. I was like,
you had just seen Seth Rogen, okay? You were on a different
well, that
planet.
was before dinner. Like, I was like, I'm just hoping that we get inside in time. Like, why is this taking so long? Like, are we in the right line? Are we supposed to be in this line?
Yeah, that sounds like you, my love. Yep.
And I'm like, well, there was people with Hellfire shirts in this line, so we have to be in the right line, right? And Juan's like, I feel like of the majority of the people were more just like New York theater people. Like,
yeah,
there were some like Stranger Things fans there, obviously, but like,
yeah,
like going to the theater in New York is just like a thing that New Yorkers do. Like, it's not all tourists. Like, it's like majority. I would say
some people that's just how they're spending their Friday night.
Yeah, so
and that's Broadway too.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah, I would love to be able to do that and like live in New York and do that more often. Like,
could you imagine?
It would be so cool. Like, I'd only ever been to Broadway once before this, and I saw Mamma Mia, and it was great. It was super fun, but like, I went and saw 2 Broadway shows in one weekend. I was like, my whole life,
that's pretty sick.
I've only seen 1 Broadway show, and this weekend I got to see 2, and I like loved it so much.
And you're a big theater gal too, so that's huge.
Yeah, like I did musicals in high school and everything, and plays and musicals. So anyway, everybody was like really chill, and I was like, what's happening? But
you needed a Xanax. Yeah, it's fine. I get it.
Yeah. So then we're finally getting to the door. We go in this door, but there was another door that I think was like the box office. So if like you didn't already have your tickets, you had to go in that door. So it was we almost went in that door by accident, and like they like the people there were like, no, you guys all need to go to the front. Like, so we like got directed around, and then as we're coming in the front door, in that box office door from the other side walk some other people. And
you were so cute too, not to cut you off. She called me the next day checking in, and she was like, I met somebody, and I'm not going to reveal who it is, but I thought it was Joe Carey. So I like, you could tell I was pissed on the other line. I got real quiet and I went, yeah, who was it? And Megan knows me so well. She goes, it wasn't Joe Carey, Stacey. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, continue.
But then you guessed correctly, like on your second guess. So literally the Duffer Brothers walk in the door right in front of me.
Guys, can you fucking imagine?
I was so starstruck, like more starstruck than meeting any cast member.
Well, they're the ones responsible
Correct.
for it all. This is their imagination.
It's their
so the fact
brain.
that you saw them.
Yeah,
Like,
they were right in front of me. Like, it was like one of them. Well, I turned around and like grabbed at Rachel, and I like basically like grabbed her chest because like,
yeah.
and like Juan and Rachel apparently thought that I like tripped and like fell, and that's why I was
Into
like
her tits. Yeah.
grabbing her.
I love you.
So then I like turned back around, and like one of them was going, and then I was like kind of like should have been the next one to go, but I like stood back so like the other one could go with his brother. I don't know though. I couldn't tell them
They
apart.
go together as a pair.
Yeah.
Hello.
I was like,
yeah.
I can't go in between them.
You're that asshole. Yeah.
So then we're like right inside the door, and there's these escalators you have to go up. So they had gotten on one escalator, and we were like, there was a couple people behind them and then us, and we were like kind of trying to go on that escalator behind them, but then there's this person like directing the flow of traffic, and she's like, no, go on the other one, because there was two going up right next to each other.
So awkward. Two
So-
side-by-side escalators.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure sometimes they could like change like which one's going up and down,
Yeah.
but like since everybody was going up at that point, they had both of them going up.
Were they wearing suit jackets?
No, they were like super casual.
Like casual. Okay.
Yeah.
I always see them in suit jackets. I was like, is that a thing?
So
Okay.
we literally ended up on the escalator right next
Side
to
by
them.
side?
Side
I
by
would've
side.
died. I would have died.
And I like kind of like made eye contact a couple times and just like awkwardly smiled, but like was basically just like didn't know what to do with myself, and like nobody else was saying anything either. And then Juan was like, say hi. And I was like,
Good for Juan.
I was
See,
like-
I love that.
I was like, no. I like shook my head. And meanwhile, they're just watching this whole interaction. Like they see Juan telling me to say hi and me saying no.
My fucking heart, guys, because Megan's first con was Upside Down Con.
Yeah.
So not a lot of interactions with celebrities, and this is like meeting Santa Claus times two.
Yeah.
So I just love that Juan's like, shoot your shot. And
Yeah.
oh
So
my God, my
he-
heart.
Well, thank goodness. Thank you, Juan. Like, is like, I think he said, you guys are awesome. And
Oh,
they were like, oh, thanks. And so I was like, yeah, he's the only one brave enough to say hi. And
good old Megan, just stating the obvious. I love you.
they laughed at me, and then I think I said to them, I was like, oh yeah, he wasn't even supposed to be here, but our friend was sick.
I love that you told the Duffer Brothers technically about me. Give it
Yeah.
to Megan, ladies and gentlemen. She's the same girl that told Joe Keery, my friend Stacy with the tattoos thinks I'm like Santa Claus. Like, awkward enough to be charming. That's the best way to describe
Is
you with
it-
celebrities.
Is it charming? Like, or is it just stupid? Like,
I'm amused by it. That's so cute. And they're like awkwardly riding the escalator, just listening and probably nodding,
Yeah.
you know?
and I
love
feel like
that.
we were like, oh, we're really excited. They were like, enjoyed the show or something like that. It was a nice little
Look,
interaction.
Guys, you've heard it here on Skull Rock Broadcast. Megan met the Duffer Brothers.
Yeah, it's insane. And
Man, that's a huge bingo check
Yeah,
mark for the
yeah.
2025. That's
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
It was great. It was so cool. And I was very sad that you weren't there, but like, and
you were so cute trying to explain it to me because you were like, I don't want you to think I'm bragging. And I'm like, I got like 103-degree fever. And I'm like, I think that's awesome, dude. It's fine. And you were like, but maybe this was meant to be because if you had gone, maybe at that exact moment, we wouldn't have been going up the escalator and Juan wouldn't have been there. And if
Yeah.
I had been there, I would have been awkward enough to go, Duffers. And then that's it. So maybe, this was meant to be. The stars aligned.
yeah,
Juan, thank you for making her say hi.
yeah, thank you, Juan, for making me say hi to the Duffer Brothers, and thank you, COVID.
Thank you, COVID, for taking down Stacey. You fucking asshole.
No, if I had to give up seeing the Duffer Brothers, like if I had to choose you being there or seeing the Duffer Brothers, I would have chosen you.
You're a goddamn angel. She was so sweet, guys, checking in on me. She's like, I'm on the rooftop of my hotel, and like, we really miss you. And she's telling me about the Duffer Brothers. And once I knew it wasn't Kiri, guys, I was like, you're fine. You're good.
But I was
You're
like,
good.
I want to tell other people about this, but like, I want you to know first. Like, I don't want to tell other people when Stacey doesn't even know yet.
I got first tales of it. And
yeah. Other
it
than
was
our
just
friends that were there too.
were there. I think that's so cute. And I was talking about you to my coworker. I was like, she was so cute. She was like, I hope you don't think I'm bragging. And I'm like, Megan, if it had been Kiri, I would have hung up the phone. I'm like, anybody else. And like the fact that it's the guys who created this.
Yeah.
They're the ones who, for 10 years, as we know, pitched this show to every network and they were turned down.
Yeah.
So the fact that you met these two geniuses, I'm just like, I'm in awe of you right now. That is our Beyonce's times two,
Oh,
guys.
absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, I can go home now. Like, I don't need to see this show.
I'm
I don't
set.
need to do the rest of this weekend. Like, I can get on a bus home at this very moment and I will have had the best weekend of my life. I did not leave and go home. I stayed. And immediately after that, we ran into Haley and Steve, which was
Team Steve.
yes. I was like, Steve, Stacey is obsessed with you.
Love him in that suitcase.
I did not get to see the suitcase.
God damn
Tragedy.
it. She didn't bring it
She
to the
didn't
show.
bring it to the show or out to the bar afterwards.
Just me being an asshole upside down. I'm like, you should have brought the suitcase in your photo op. Like, I was obsessed that she had it with her. Such a dick. So they were there.
They were there, and then they ended up sitting like 2 rows behind us. So we got to like
Nice.
chat a little bit with them before the show.
Yeah.
So that was cool. The show, I mean, mind-blowing. Like,
Really?
yeah. So I'm not going to like spoil it because we may at some point do an episode where we do talk about it, but like we're going to see if maybe Stacey can see it at some point. I don't know, but like I also would need somebody else who's seen it to like talk to me about it because
Yeah.
I feel like it would be hard to like remember everything and to process everything. Like, so we'll either like wait for you to see it or like have somebody else who was there come on and talk to us about it too. Because
That'd be cool. Yeah.
like, I mean, Juan's seen it twice now. Like,
I know. So cool.
yeah. And I kind of want to see it again. Like maybe with you, maybe just again on my own, like we'll see. But because it was just like a lot to take in. And we weren't super close. Like we were pretty far away actually, but like it was still very like
It looked
immersive.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not a huge theater. Like
Give me the like general like overall plot. What is the show about?
it's about Henry Creel, I would say. It's set in 1959, and there's this part at the beginning that like they're on like ships, and just like
Fuck.
yeah, the way they did it, like it was just the way they did everything visually was just like mind blowing and insane.
Really?
Because it's like there's like technical things and like special effects and stuff that are like practical. Like it's not like. Sometimes there's like a screen, like there was this screen of like the ocean, and I wanted to see that for longer because it was really cool looking, and it was only like
Megan loves the ocean.
a flash of it. Like I was like, I needed to see that for longer.
That was the one thing I was bummed about missing out on because this is Broadway. This is top tier. They have the budget. So the things that they're able to do for effects between lighting, between sound and everything, that must have been mind-blowing, right?
It was insanely mind-blowing. Like I don't want to give away anything, but like there were some explosions where like
Fuck.
you could literally smell the like the like smoke from the explosion like all the way up where we were in the balcony.
So it was almost like, remember that Disney ride, like Alien Encounters, where like you can feel it like on your neck and shit, and like they would spray water in your face. So it was immersive, you would say.
It was very immersive, yes.
Bitch,
and like
that
there
sounds
was
good.
like the you know, like the Stranger Things logo with like the red like glowing, like
Oh yeah.
there was this thing that like in between, like it was like a transition type thing, but it would be like a red glowing like line like going around the whole stage or something like that. Like, and
Ooh.
every time I saw that, I like got chills.
Oh yeah.
And when like the logo comes on and like the theme song plays at the beginning, I was like
Girl,
crying
goosebumps.
because you're like
yeah.
it's like you're inside the episode. Like
Yeah.
it's like actually happening right there in front of you, but it's still like Stranger Things. So it was just crazy. So then It's basically, you know, in season 4, like the Creel family arrives at the house, like they move to town. So you see a little bit of that. You get to know a little bit about like a little bit more about the relationships between like Henry and his family. And then you get to see Hawkins High. And like there's some like, so all of the older people like Joyce, Hopper, Lucas's parents, Dustin's parents.
They're teenagers in this, right?
They're teenagers, yes. Mike's parents, like all of the like adults.
Oh, wow.
So they're
no Harringtons,
teenagers.
though?
No. No Harringtons.
Bob's in it, right?
Bob is in it. Uh-huh. And he has a sister.
Oh, I love
an
that.
adopted sister. And their dad is the principal of the high school.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Principal
That's a
Newbie.
cool little twist.
Yeah. So without kind of spoiling it too much, they're putting on a production of like a show, like a high school musical type thing. Like I said that in our last episode.
Worst and fears confirmed.
That was kind of like a little cheesy, but like, and a little over the top sometimes, but like it's Broadway. So it was like, that's the tone of like Broadway. So sometimes there was like, it was a little hard to like, because Stranger Things can be pretty serious sometimes. Like,
yeah.
And obviously there's no singing and dancing. And
Thank
like,
Christ, I would have gotten up and left.
Well, no. In Stranger Things, there's no singing and dancing. There was some singing and dancing in this show. It's not a musical by any means, but like a little bit with the show that they're putting on at the high school. But then there's also these like dream sequences where Patty Newbie is like
the sister. Okay,
she wants to like find her mom, and like she's befriended Henry, and he's kind of showing her some of his powers. And
he's a bad guy, bad kid.
Well, no, like it's sweet. They have like a sweet friendship. So like this is kind of like spoiler territory, but like that's why she thinks her mom is a Vegas showgirl. So there's like these Vegas showgirls like singing and dancing and in her like dream sequence.
Guys, thank Christ I was not there, because Megan would have locked eyes with me and just went, "Don't you dare."
Yeah. So
behave yourself. That
was like where it was a little cheesy, but like it fit with like a Broadway show.
Yeah, like you're getting, your money's worth. I do like, though, that this is a prequel that humanizes Henry.
Oh my gosh,
because
yes.
It's almost like he's a product of his environment, what, Papa did and stuff.
He was very funny. He was like very nerdy. He was like obsessed with comic book characters. Like,
there we go. Yeah.
Like you see a lot of like you said, the very human side of
And I
Henry.
feel like that's what makes a good villain. I remember back in high school, I wrote this like dumbass paper about Hellraiser 2, guys. You should have seen my teacher's face. She was like, "What the fuck? Sit down, Stacey." But I was like, I like it when they go into the backstory being like, this monster was once human.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is his story of how he came to be. It's complicated. It's life. So I like that they showed him when he was like an innocent kid.
Yeah. And that's what I really need to like talk to somebody about, because I'm still not completely clear on like what happened. Like what was kind of like basically like possessing him to make him what he was.
He like collected spiders. Those kids are fucking weird.
Yeah, like he had like some dark tendencies, but like it was sometimes it was like out of his control. Like, so I feel like there's still something darker.
Yeah.
It's not just him.
There was something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like I would need to see it again, or maybe I can read some articles about it to kind of help me wrap my
We're going to have to plan a
head
summer
around.
trip.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like there's still some things I don't completely understand, but also maybe season 5 will help with that.
True. That's what makes me wonder, because like not everybody, as we said in our last episode, sometimes people get COVID and sometimes people just can't get to New York to see it, or over in the UK.
Yeah.
And I understand why they want to do it right now because they want to sell tickets and people see it live, you know. Seeing a live performance, it's night and day. But I'm wondering if they'll eventually have it streaming at one point. So, because if there's stuff like you have to see the prequel in order to understand stuff in season 5, like, I don't know if they'll go that route.
My thought is still that, like, you're going to be able to watch season 5 without knowing this information, and it's still going to make sense. I think it's like, this is just kind of bonus.
It's not like Star Wars where you're like, no, you have to see them all.
Yeah, but even Star Wars has this where it's like, you know, like the animated series, like the Clone Wars and shit like that. Like,
I've asked about that and people are like, no, you don't have to see it.
Right.
No, you don't have to see
Right.
it. You know,
So
that
it's
was like you with A Quiet Place Day 1. I'm like, it's a prequel. You're fine. You don't have to see the other movies. So that would make more sense, but it's almost like it'll add more to your experience for you to see season 5 because now you know stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, it's interesting because people can go see this play without having seen the show Stranger Things at all.
Really?
Because it's like, obviously, you're going to know who these characters are, and that's going to make it a little bit more meaningful. But, like, it's a prequel. So it's like, you don't have to really know who these characters become to enjoy.
You're just like,
the
wow,
play.
like,
yeah.
This kid's, you know, weird.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What's his problem?
Exactly.
I hope he has a happy ending.
Yeah. And, like, you get to see Joyce being, like, very, like, you know.
Is Lonnie in it?
Yes. Yep. And Hopper.
Fucking Lonnie.
There's some cute Jopper, like,
my heart.
If you're a Jopper shipper, like, it's cute.
Fucking Lonnie stole her.
I cried at that too. A couple parts of that. I am gonna say this, so like maybe skip like 30 seconds if you don't want this
spoiler alert.
And I'm gonna make it pretty vague, but like there was something that I wished I had a little trigger warning about because so in season 2, a very beloved animal does not make it.
Oh no.
Do we know who I'm talking about?
Meow.
Yeah. Think that, but like more graphic because you see it.
No.
Correct. And then they were selling fucking stuffed animals at the gift shop.
No, they fucking did not.
Yes. Remember it was in the behind the scenes stuff of like, remember seeing that stuffed cat? And we were like, what?
Yeah.
What is this stuffed cat? That's from the play. And that is what happens.
No, absolutely not. I'm sorry. Kill a busload of orphans, says the girl who's a teacher. I'm fine. Kill an animal?
Yeah.
Even like, how is that supposed to help the plot?
Right.
How? Like, we get it. Like, things are getting out of control.
It is a plot point, and like it does kind of spiral from there with like pets going missing and stuff like that.
Dear God.
Yeah. That was like, I really wished that I had a trigger warning.
Is it Henry?
I mean, that would be a spoiler, wouldn't it? I can't tell you.
It's Henry. Because he was killing all those fucking rabbits. Fucking future
Apparently
serial killer.
Alice had a pet rabbit.
Guys, you know what? I'm glad 11 turned him into a California raisin because he deserved it. Sorry.
So that was tough for me. Personally.
The pescatarian literally like going, what the fuck?
I was like, I just wanted a trigger warning. Like, so I could be prepared for that because I was like, I like kind of wanted to walk out.
Could you imagine if you did? I'm fucking dead. You're so extra. I love it.
But I mean, I got past it. The other thing, there was a lot of jump scares. And like, I loved it though. Like, yeah, because every time they would get me, and like there was one towards the end, and I just like literally, Brandy was on one side of me, Juan was on the other side. We all just like held hands.
I am dead. It was like you guys were on a Universal ride. I love that.
It was like literally like out of your seat, like just insane. Like,
see, I like that instead of just seeing a play.
Yeah,
like you had an experience. Actually,
I mean, I was literally like jaw dropped, like very visceral, like physical experience. Like it was insane. Yeah,
girl, you're selling me, man.
It's hard to like describe, but like it's like, I mean, all of those people like in the promo stuff were like, unlike anything I've ever seen. Like they're not lying. Like
they're not lying. It's that good.
Yeah.
See, I had a feeling they were gonna bring the goods. They were gonna do this. This is high production. This is some fucking Stranger Things here. But like I said, I'm not a theater person. I've never been to Broadway. But I was like, oh, it's just gonna be a play. The fact that it was that interactive and that like huge makes me intrigued. Now I'm like, no, maybe I will try to go and see it, because if you had that cool of an experience.
Yeah. And I would do it
girl.
again in a heartbeat. Like, I feel like I could see it 4 times and still have like.
And maybe discover more things.
Yep. Absolutely.
Were there any lines or like dialogue that kind of like choked you up? I know it's hard to remember.
Some of the Joyce and Hopper stuff at the end. The beginning, just like emotional, like being in that room and that energy and like the Stranger Things logo and everything. Also, it was the first night of previews. So the director got on the stage beforehand and was like, we literally ran through this for the first time ever last night, like, and put this all together.
Holy shit.
So like this is like the first time we're doing it in front of an audience.
Bear with us.
Like,
yeah.
If we have to stop at any time, there will be like an announcement, and we'll try to let you know. I like
that he did that.
But like they didn't stop. It seemed
they
like
were great.
Yeah, because he was like, if there's any like stunts or special effects that like are dangerous and we need to like fix it, then we will let you know. Because there was something really insane that happens towards the end, and it was like looked dangerous. So.
Oh, I love that you guys technically were the first people in the public in the States to see this.
Yeah. And so just being in that room and that energy was really cool too.
Yeah.
And like, knowing that the Duffer Brothers were there.
Watching Friends. So yeah, how about that? And the fact that you knew the Duffers were there watching it.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool. You guys all got to have that experience.
Exactly. So yeah, it was pretty amazing. We did not go outside to try to like meet the cast afterwards.
Yeah.
Some of our friends that we know did. But
very cool.
Yeah, they got like their playbill signed and like got some photos with some of the actors and stuff. Because the one guy who plays Brenner is apparently in season 5. Like,
no shit.
I don't
Maybe
know.
In a flashback?
I don't know what he plays. I don't know if he plays
Brenner making
or
Matthew Modine with his dark hair.
Yeah.
In the flashback kills me every time because I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Was there cool merch? Was there a place selling merch?
They had merch, but like I described to you my chaotic experience walking into the theater, right? So like we were in this long line, and then we like ran into the Duffers, and then basically like we had no time. We had to like go get to our seats.
To hang in the lobby, yeah.
And then on the way out, we were just like, there was still long lines at the merch stuff, and like I think
I would have booked it out of there. I would have been
some of our
overstimulated.
Like Cubby and like some other people have done like reels of like showing all of the cool merch stuff, but like it was basically like hoodies, tote bags, t-shirts,
typical
like
stuff,
stuffed animals.
Dear God, and have just you glaring.
Yeah. So nothing like super
mind-blowing.
Yeah, posters.
It looked like the entrance, like how it looks like the house. Like
that was pretty cool.
Was that in the lobby?
Yeah, it was in the lobby because it's in a hotel. Like so that kind of like created in the hotel sort of an entrance to go through. That's like where they checked your tickets.
Yeah.
So once you were inside there, you kind of like went up the stairs if we went up the stairs because we were in the balcony, but then, or you could just go through into the theater from there. But we were going to try to meet up with some people afterwards, like Haley and Kat and AZ, the Hawkins reporter, and their respective partners. They had all gone outside to meet the cast, so we went up to like this bar in the same hotel as the theater, but like up a few floors.
I mean, if you're gonna wait, you might as well catch a buzz.
Yeah, like that's where we had decided to meet them because it was just easy. So that was Kat was like, let's just go up there and I'll meet up afterwards. So it was like we weren't trying to find each other, and it was a really cool little loungy type bar, and I mean $25 drinks, but
I would have been beside myself. I would have been going, oh my God,
it all balanced out with our, $4 beer plus a hot dog, I guess.
That was New York getting back at you. Yeah.
But that Sleepless in New York, it was like an espresso drink. Like, remember you saw the picture of it?
So it was technically an espresso martini, right?
Yeah, basically.
My drink of choice, baby.
It was really
you
good.
Make me proud.
And it was very caffeinated. And later I had like a Diet Coke, like a rum and Diet Coke. So I did not sleep that
Girl,
night.
you were flash mounting. Like,
I was literally sleepless in New York that night after only sleeping for like 3 or 4 hours the night before too.
When you called me the next day, you were like, I got like 3 hours. You were like Buddy the Elf. You're like, I got a full 20 minutes. Yeah. I'm like, girl.
I had like less than 8 hours across 2 nights, like probably less than 7 hours over the course of 2 nights. So I was like just, running on vibes and adrenaline.
It was all vibes. You're like, I met the Duffer Brothers. Your brain is shutting down.
Yeah, but it was worth it. Adrenaline kicks in. You're fine.
I love that. The drink did look delicious.
It was a very delicious drink. And then we did wait and they all came up and like we got to chat with them for a little bit.
Nice.
And then my grand idea that everybody actually came along for, so
it was pretty cute, dude. Yeah.
was this is so funny because I feel like Joe Keery would have never actually said that this was what that line in the song meant.
He would have never revealed it.
No, but I think we talked about this when we talked about Delete Ya with Hannah Sarah.
Stay tuned.
There was this interview where he did, and the interviewer had literally been at this bar, this dive bar called Blue and Gold, the night that Joe Keery and Charlie Heaton walked in with like a bunch of the cast of Stranger Things to play
pool. I love
pool.
that they brought them to a bar.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they were playing pool, but I love that they brought the kids to a bar.
I think that most of the kids were like of drinking age at that time. Yeah.
And the name of the bar is?
Blue and Gold.
Blue and Gold.
It's in the East Village. It's definitely a dive bar.
Is it small?
Small. Yep. There's only one pool table, like maybe like 4 booths. Like we like when we got there, me and Brandy and Andy and Rachel, we like grabbed a booth real quick, but like
smart.
It was crowded.
And
it was like we got there at like 2. What time did we get there?
2 a.m.
2 a.m. Something like that. So it was, they were open till 4, but a lot of bars close at 1 or 2. So like the crowd was like the crowd that like, is still out at that time, which is
all youngins, Gen Zs.
Yeah.
I would have been beside myself. Hipsters and college kids, I would have been done.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So it was funny just to like be there, Blue and Gold Friday night. And that was my grand scheme. Like
the location of Joe Keery's Panic Attack.
But it was also like everybody had to take like a 25-minute Uber to get there. So it was like commitment that everybody came. It was like
you guys are hardcore fans. I respect it.
Down for my crazy idea. But yeah, so like everybody came afterwards and they kind of just were like, okay, yeah, we saw it.
It's a bar. Now, I heard you were doing lemon drops.
Well, that was, we went to another dive bar.
6-year-old Italian lady?
Like,
lemon drops.
Luckily, I had done some more research on the area because I was like,
of course you did.
What if we get all the way there and this place is like not happening?
The vibes aren't vibing, yeah.
Which was like, I was like, this is probably gonna happen, so like let's have a backup plan. So most of the backup plans that I had already closed, but like luckily
you had alternate backup plans.
Luckily one of the other dive bars in the area that was also a late night bar was still open. And it was cute because I like looked up the history of it, and it was like another like family owned like bar that had just like they had shut down and they had just gotten it reopened, so it was pretty cool. And that was called Lucy's.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, Lucy's. So Lucy's was supposed to be open until 4, but it was like a whole
4 a.m.
Yeah, it was like a whole around 4. They ended up doing last call before
that. It truly
that.
is the city that never sleeps.
So we went over there and had a couple more drinks, and that was a more laid back, like there was more like more room to kind of like move around. It was a little bit more light. We could see each other. There was like some people dancing to like the jukebox and stuff. So it was kind of a fun vibe. And then most of them left. We did get a fun selfie that was on Instagram before we went in there.
Love that.
Yeah, and then we stayed for a little bit longer, and yeah, that's when we had our lemon drops.
And Brandy right away goes, "Oh, we were doing lemon drops. That was Megan's idea." And I'm like, "Of course it
was my idea to do shots." I was like,
"You're like, I met the Duffer."
No, I feel like I can't remember what I said. It was like, I think I was like, it would probably be a bad idea to do shots right now, right?
You're such a raccoon. I love it. That's such raccoon behavior. I love it.
And they were like, "Oh, is that us? Is that you telling us you want to do shots?"
That's your segue, yeah. Fucking, that's amazing.
And then I can't remember how the lemon drops came up. I was like thinking of what I used to drink in college. Like,
yeah, that's a college drink for sure. How many shots did you have?
Just the one.
Real? See,
Just
it's
the
a
one.
good thing I wasn't there, guys, because they were like, "Let's do another."
I was like,
as I puke.
I was like, not tequila shots. No, we're not doing that.
Oh no! If it's tequila shots, like no, bad news bears. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fun. And
what, party until 4 a.m. Like, I am proud of you, kiddo.
I know. It was
wow.
It was intense. So we went home, back to the hotel at least, and tried to sleep. I didn't really sleep with all of that caffeine in my system. But
you're just staring at Rachel, your eyes huge. You're like, I met the Duffer Brothers.
So Saturday. You want to talk Saturday?
Yes.
That's the next day.
Yup.
Oh, this is so funny. So I woke up after not really sleeping. Mm-hmm. And I went to the roof and called Stacy.
Yeah, had to check in on your friend, the other half.
The hotel had like free breakfast, and it was actually pretty decent. So I went downstairs and like
it was continental.
Some eggs and eggs.
Girl.
What else did I have? Hash browns. Like
I would have gotten my money's worth. I will murder a continental breakfast.
But like there was nowhere to sit because it was very crowded, and Rachel was still sleeping.
Did you go up on the roof?
So I went on the roof.
You're like, I'm going to take this up on the roof and I'm going to give Stace a call.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a little food, called you, and then we got ready for the day.
How was the weather?
It was hot. It was warm on Saturday. It did
really?
It did not hold. Like the weather, like in the evening, it got cold again. Like, but during the day, it was super nice.
Nice.
So once we were all ready, we got bagels too. And
so envious. I love that you were like, I feel bad. That was the one thing you wanted to do.
I know.
I'm like, God damn it.
That was,
I can't taste anything.
The pizza and the bagels were what Stacy was missing out on the most.
Yep,
I think.
The food, guys. Are we surprised? What kind of bagel did you get?
I got like smoked salmon and cream cheese.
What the fuck is with you with salmon?
You
got a lock?
I got lox and cream cheese.
You're adorable.
You have to get that. Like that's what you get at a bagel place. Like, come on.
It's true. A lock is. I hate salmon, but a lock, girl.
Yeah,
that's another thing I'll murder.
Well,
like
Rachel and I we both got the same thing, and we got it. Like sometimes they have capers on them too, and I did not want the capers, but like. I got red onion on my bagel, but then we both did because it's like cream cheese, smoked salmon, and red onion. But then we were like, we probably shouldn't eat this onion. Like our breath is gonna smell like onion all day. So
I was thinking the same
and
thing.
We were
when
both,
you said garlic yesterday, I was like, brave.
We were both secretly like hoping that Joe Keery might show up at the listening party later that night. We were like, so we sat there and picked the red onions off of our
That's a true Joe Keery fan. Okay, guys?
I mean, I had the Fisherman's Friends, but we didn't want to rely on those.
I love that those are taking off. And we found out, spoiler alert, that's included in the VIP package because when I was a little kid, I used to think they were just in New England, but no, they're worldwide. Anytime I got sick, my dad would say two things. Boil a bouillon cube, which I'm like, ew, chicken flavored water. Or he goes, have a fisherman's friend. That will clear you out. And he had the original kind that Keery takes. guys, like, talk about not being able to taste anything. It will clear out your sinuses so quick. So I had bought some to be cute because I was going to bring them too on the trip. And literally here I am with COVID, popping them, can't taste them. But I'm like, this is terrible. But you got all the different flavors.
I just got
naughty
honey,
girl.
lemon, and mint.
I bet that wasn't bad.
The honey lemon are pretty good.
The lemon one. I love that he's like, imagine you're got a yellow rain slicker and you're on the boat. And I'm like, okay, Gordon's fisherman, like, shut up. So you guys picked the onion off. I'm proud of you.
We picked the onion off. And then we walked to see Sadie's play.
I keep forgetting that was on the docket as well.
Yeah.
Now, how was that?
See, that play, John Proctor is the villain, is incredible.
Really?
It is a straight play, but like there is some like music, not singing. They do dance a little, though, like, which is fine.
Oh,
but like it's purposeful. Like it makes sense in the.
Now, isn't it about a bunch of students talking about the Crucible?
Yes. So it's about high schoolers in like a small town in Georgia in like 2018, with
Great
like
year.
all of the Me Too stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
And they are talking about the Crucible in their language arts class in high school. And they're also sort of like starting like a feminism club at their school.
Mhm.
So it's very like girl power, believe women, like some really deep themes.
Yeah.
And really powerful, but like presented in a way that you are like entertained and like I was like
dealing with heavy subject matter, but
Yeah.
not right
Yeah.
in your face.
Yeah.
I like that.
it was so cool because it was like a classroom. That was the setting. And you
Mhm.
would have been right there with me, Stacey. Like it was so accurate. They had like
Was
the
it? Yeah.
tennis balls on the bottom of the chairs. None of the desks match.
Nope.
Like
They never do.
the teacher's desk was like my exact desk, like at school.
I am
Like
dead.
not now in my new office.
All the
but,
charts
like,
on
yeah.
the walls
Yep.
and stuff. Yep.
There was like a chalkboard. It was very accurate. Oh, the tiled floor, like kind of dirty. That was like very like. I
Man.
mean, that was very.
I'm getting
accurate.
nostalgic here.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a lot of schools I've worked.
So the set is just that one classroom, and they're
Takes place in one place.
yes,
Okay.
but like they're coming in and out, and there's different characters in the classrooms. But I loved like the transitions. Like there would be a spotlight on one character who would kind of like freeze, and then the rest of
Saved
the
by the Bell.
people would like come in and out and whatever, like reset for the next scene.
Oh, that's
and then
cool.
like the character would like shake themselves like they were like waking up, and then like
They were having a moment. Yeah.
yeah, and then like either leave because they're not in this scene, or like start like go sit in their
That's
set.
clever.
It was just really cool. Like I haven't seen a lot of I've never seen a play on Broadway. I'd only seen Mamma Mia, obviously. So like it was a smaller scale too, because I mean the cast is less than 10 people.
Wow.
Because it's like a teacher, a guidance counselor, and then like students in the class, like 8 students or something like that. Two boys and a bunch of girls. So Sadie obviously plays one of the students. She's not in the very beginning, but like she comes in a little, like in like maybe like the 3rd scene or something like that. And her entrance was great. Like, so that was
That
pretty
must have been
fun.
so cool to see her, because we know due to scheduling conflict, she wasn't doing Upside Down Con and stuff, but she's such an important character, and being able to see her perform, because I know actors have said many times, they're like, television and film is great, but there's nothing like theater.
Yeah.
Because it's just such an adrenaline rush. And I love that a lot of the Stranger Things cast has done theater and continues to do so.
Yeah.
So I think that's really
good.
cool.
Yeah.
I would have gotten goosebumps seeing her.
Totally did. And just the play in general was like very powerful. I was tearing up like the entire time. Like there were so many parts that made me tear up. Like
It's moving, and also like they're talking about the Crucible, which if you're from New England, because that fucking movie in the 90s was with Winona was filmed here. So everybody who lives around here, they're either in Jaws as an extra or they're in the Crucible. And it's a staple. But if you think back on like what really went down, it's fucked.
it's fucked up.
And,
yeah.
I kind of like that with the whole like Me Too movement and the this and the that. You're looking at it almost in a different light.
Yeah. Yep. Because
yeah.
I haven't read The Crucible since high school. Like, it was funny
it's been a while.
because there's like this whole thing of like about like Spark Notes. So there was like some promo. There was some promo for the play, and it was like, do you have to read The Crucible before you see the play? And they were like, no, but maybe read the Spark Notes.
I felt that in my soul. Yep.
Yeah. And but basically in the play, they kind of talk about how everybody thinks of John Proctor as this like very virtuous, like heroic character.
He's a piece of shit.
He literally had an affair with this woman and like
thank you and his wife's pregnant while this is going down. Literally, like, I don't know, maybe it's because like in the book and in the movie it's Daniel Day-Lewis, so everybody's losing their minds, but like he does a great performance, at least in the movie. But I almost like, they make Winona the villain, especially at the end when she's like, I've chartered a boat, we'll escape in the night, you won't be executed. And he's like, the next time we'll be on a boat is in hell. And I'm like, okay, goosebumps. But if you think back on it, he carried on an affair with a young girl.
Yeah.
And yes, his ending wasn't so great, but at the same token, this was mostly about men.
Yeah.
Believing this stuff, mass panic and hysteria, which does fit in with Stranger Things season 4, and kind of like he's an asshole. So I like that he is the villain.
You would love this play because you're more familiar with the story than I am. So it's very powerful, and like just there's this really shocking thing, and the way that you find out, it's like you get chills, like the lights go down. It's like, it's such a good line. So Brandy and I look at each other and we're just like, oh my God. Because you don't see that coming either.
It comes out of left field. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good writing.
It's insane. It's insanely good.
I gotta be honest, I didn't look anything into it. All I knew was it took place in one room.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I know who John Proctor is. And I'm like, I wonder what this is going to be about. And I think that's a really smartly written play. Yeah. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
The fact that you got to see 2 good shows in one weekend.
I know.
And let's drum roll, please. You met Sadie. Girl. Whenever you told me that, I was like, motherfucker, that's amazing.
Yeah. So after the show, we didn't even like run down there because we were like, well, I guess let's try. Like, because at first I was like, we're not going to be able to go because we have to get to this listening party. Like, I'm not sure how long like we should like leave ourselves for, because we had to go all the way to Brooklyn. We'll talk about that next, the Joe Keery listening party.
Wink, wink.
So, but we were like, let's try. But we like had to go to the bathroom. So we like waited in line for the bathroom. And then we got down there and they had like barricaded off the area, like right next to the front entrance. Like that was where the stage door was. And people were like waiting. So we just kind of got there and started waiting. And some of the other cast came out first, and like Rachel was like passing our playbills up. So I was like not expecting to, be able to be like face to face with her. Like I was not prepared to like take a photo or anything like that because we were kind of like back a bit. And then we were kind of holding up our playbills, like hoping that they would get passed up to her. But then she ended up like some other people moved, and then we ended up like kind of to the side, and there was also a barricade there. So she ended up coming around the side and was like, oh my God, right in front of me, and like signed my plate bill, like, and I totally could have gotten a picture with her if I had like been ready and prepared, because she was taking selfies with people and stuff. So
she seems so nice too.
So it was just really cool to just see her, and like,
you got her autograph.
Yeah, I got her autograph on the little playbill for the show.
I love that. Oh
yeah.
Right away, I was like, oh my God, they met Sadie too. I'm like, they're having a good weekend.
Yeah.
This is working out.
Yeah. So that happening when I wasn't really expecting it to happen, like, was really cool too.
Bonus.
So I was like on cloud 9, obviously. And then I was like,
Megan was vibing.
I was like, Joe Keery's not coming to this listening party. Like,
you're literally, like, this is too good of a streak. Yeah.
I was like, we're not going to get that lucky this weekend.
It was the universe being like, we need to throw Stacy a bone.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. She will literally have a breakdown.
Which he didn't go to any of them, as far as I know. So,
which you kind of made sense with me. You're talking me down a ledge. You were like, Stacy, like, you know, the photos he posted, like, it looks like it's in Illinois. He's getting ready for his tour. He's not going to any, you know, because I think it would have been hysteria if he had, you know. So, you know, so after you met Sadie, you guys got an Uber and went to Brooklyn?
we took the subway.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So it was a little bit of an adventure, but we made it. We made it.
You know what? It was an experience. You got the true NYC experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Juan was like helping us find our train, and then we got on the right train, but then like we had to change trains, and we got on the correct train when we changed trains, but I like second guessed myself, and I was like, guys, I think we're going in the wrong direction. So we were only supposed to go 2 stops.
What happens, Megan, when we second guess ourselves? You remember trivia.
Yeah.
Don't do it, girl.
But this is, we were like, this is some Final Destination shit. We were expecting as the train, like I had this premonition that I needed to get off that train. And we were like, as the train goes away from us, we were like expecting it to like blow up.
Blow up? Oh my God. I'm dying.
So, it did not. And as far as I know, it didn't have any accidents.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
But we weren't on it. So we had to wait like 20 minutes for the next one.
Listen, you followed those feelings, you know?
I was like, oh my gosh. But then we were a little early for the listening party. So we kind of took our time, went into like a little thrift store in Brooklyn.
Oh, I love a thrift store.
I bought a copy of the VHS Help, the Beatles movie Help.
Look at you.
And I don't know if it actually plays, but like, do you want to know why I bought it?
Why?
You can't guess why I would buy that? Did someone tell you recently that they were collecting VHS tapes?
You fucking card. I love you. That is adorable. You would have been like, look, you love the Beatles, and your friend is going to play George Harrison.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to give this to Joe.
It can be for his collection.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I could still try to give it to him, but I don't know when I would see him to give it to him.
Hold on to it. You never know,
Yeah.
you know? You never know. You're adorable,
but
by the way.
I think Rachel wanted to buy it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to buy this.
Motherfucker.
And she was like, well,
it's mine.
I was thinking about buying it. And I was like, but I want to give it to Joe.
Megan, I love you. You're like, tough shit.
So I still have it. We'll see if I end up giving it to Joe at some point.
You have to take a picture of it and show me. That's so cool. Describe was it a record store or a cafe? Or was it both?
Both. It was pretty cool.
That's kind of cool.
The guy who ran it was pretty cool. So it was a cafe, so there was like a little bit of seating. And then there were also
That's
like
nice.
kind of standing tables that people were kind of hanging out at too. And they didn't have a ton of records, but like I think he kind of like moves stuff. Like he doesn't keep a lot in stock.
Yeah.
So he was really cool. Like we got there, had some coffees, we're just hanging out. And he was like, in a little bit, I'm going to make everybody leave and line up just so we can do like the tickets, because he explained like when we were starting the listening party that he does these listening parties for some albums that come out, and he hasn't really found like this is like the best system that he's found to do it, because like having a ticket, because it's like it is a cafe, there's like limited seating, and they're pretty well attended events. So it wasn't like some of the listening parties at some of the record stores, I think, were just kind of like anybody that was at the store at that time, they just put the music on in the store, and like you were just
I was so
it.
bummed that I had COVID because I couldn't go to any near me. So I was like, I wonder what the overall vibe was. And I saw the pictures you guys sitting, and I'm like, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, so this was actually, I think, and actually a lot of people ended up sitting down on the ground too, because
they were vibing.
Yeah, it was a pretty big group of people.
Good for you, Joe.
Yeah. So it was really cool because everybody was just really listening too. Like it was
That's cool.
a nice little sound system that he had, and like you could hear it really well, and like everybody was
See, that's
quiet.
nice.
Like
Because
some
I
people
saw
would
footage.
yeah.
I saw footage at some stores where like there's just too much going on. People were like shopping, and I'm like, see, I would be freaking out because I'd be wanting to hear it.
Yeah.
So the fact that people were kind of respectful, clearly fans,
Yeah.
and listening.
I think everybody who went to these listening parties had a different experience. Like some of them were pretty well attended and like cool like vibes and stuff. Some of them were just like only a couple people were there just because it was a smaller area, not as much Joe, like not as many Joe fans in the area. Because I know some people got like multiple Polaroids because like there was only 50 Polaroids. So like,
dude, literally, I was laying on my couch so depressed, and I literally was like, I'm not gonna get a Polaroid. Somebody made sure.
I made sure you got one, but like Brandy was like, oh, you totally could have had Andy's too. Like
still Andy's.
Yeah. But it was funny because again, and Juan came with us to see Sadie's play too, because
Look
why
at
not?
Juan, I love that.
Yeah. I was like, Juan, like you can come tomorrow.
Stacy's not here again. We have another ticket. Fucking dead.
And then, so we're at the listening party and we were sitting there having coffee, just hanging out. And then I saw this girl and her friend hanging out and having coffee. But then we all had to leave and get in line. And the girl was so sweet. She was like, oh, you guys were here before us, like get in front of me. And I was like, because we all kind of like
never see that.
went outside at the same time. So it was kind of like awkward, like getting in line with like who had been there first.
You don't want to like cut anybody, but at the same time, you kind of want to get in line.
And because then I was trying to like make friends with everybody, you know? So
of course you were.
But
this is why we do this, because we are the same. We're like, let's make friends in line.
Yeah. So the girl that let us in front of her, I realized that her friend was not there anymore. And I was like, wait, where did your friend go? Like, wasn't she with you? And she was like, oh, she didn't have a ticket. And
the stars aligned.
I didn't catch on right away. I like kept talking to her. And then I was like, wait, I have an extra ticket.
I have so many extra tickets because of my fucking friend in COVID.
I was like, do you want to call her and see if she wants to come back? Because she literally was just like sitting at a coffee shop waiting for her friend. And I was like, we'll strike a deal. Like she can come in, but she has to give me the Polaroid. And she was
I love you. Oh my God, that's so good. You're haggling. I love it.
They were both so sweet. And so she ended up coming, and it was funny because even though I had your ticket on my phone, that guy was not going to give me an extra Polaroid. Like,
I was afraid of that.
Unless there was like an extra
physical person.
Yeah. So it actually worked out like perfectly.
Thank you, universe. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, nice girls.
Yeah, exactly. They were so sweet. So they sat with us, and
nice.
Then Mathilde, who is from like Quebec, she had come down for like the plays that weekend too, and she's
great cosplayer.
Yeah, she was so sweet, and she was like, "Can I sit with you guys? Like I'm here by myself." And I was like,
"That would have been me." Yep.
Yeah. So she sat right next to me and was so sweet, and then another girl that we met, Sin, who's really cool, who's definitely going to have to be on the podcast at some point. Like she was there too. And yeah, so it was just fun to have like a little group of people to like
all fans
vibe with. Yeah.
Yeah. You must have been loving it. Like I said, I set the alarm like an asshole, and I listened to it at like 1 a.m. But I have surround sound in my living room, and I usually never use it, but I put it on, and I was like, oh, Megan must have been so happy.
Yeah, I loved it so much. And it was just like I said, fun listening to it in like a room of people, other fans. Like we were all singing along to Basic Being Basic and Delete.
Hell yeah.
We were counting at Gap Tooth Smile.
Yes.
That was the part where I got like real into it. Like
love that. Oh, it's making me look forward to the shows with you.
Yeah, it was so fun. And it was a cute experience. So I was glad that we like it worked out that like we went to that one because it ended up being cool. Then it had gotten cold. And we had to like walk like 15 minutes over a bridge to get to the subway station. So it was like
that sounds terrible.
Very cool view, but it was like cold and windy. So we were like trying to go as fast as we could. And we got back to the hotel. It was like 10 o'clock at night. We hadn't eaten dinner yet. So we went to this diner. It's called the TikTok Diner, but not like TikTok, like the app.
Like a clock.
Like a clock. Like Vecna's clock.
There you look at the theme continues. What did you have?
Well, first I had a milkshake.
I love a milkshake. What flavor?
Vanilla. Classic.
Love a good milkshake.
And I probably shouldn't have had it because then like the food was really good, but it was like huge portions, and I had a tuna melt, and these fries that were so good, and we also got some like disco fries, which are like fries with like gravy and mozzarella cheese on them.
Girl, what?
Yeah. So good. But I like couldn't even finish it. Like I think I finished my sandwich, but like I still had lots of extra fries.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, it was amazing.
They would have had to roll me out of there.
I was like so full, but it was worth it.
Worth it. Hashtag worth it.
Yeah, and that was pretty much the end of the weekend because
Rachel had an early flight.
Rachel
so you
had
guys
a
didn't go out partying.
No, Rachel had a super early flight. I don't think she slept. She just kind of stayed up, and so I said goodnight to Brandy and Andy because they were gonna leave early. Also, not as early as Rachel at like 3 o'clock in the morning, but like,
Jesus.
I was gonna try to sleep in because I didn't have to check out until noon.
Same as Georgia. Isn't that so weird?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So funny. So when I got up, I just kind of like went down, got some breakfast, relaxed for a little while, and then I went to a little coffee shop right by the hotel that was really cute too.
Love that. Did you get another cappuccino?
I had a chai that time.
Ooh, love that.
I had a cappuccino at the record store place though.
Fuck yeah, I love that.
And I definitely was not thinking about how Joe Keery said he liked to drink cappuccinos in that one video.
Megan, I love you.
And then I just walked around a little bit. I like walked over to like Macy's Herald Square. I didn't go inside. I should have, I guess, because apparently there used to be like wooden escalators in there.
The fuck?
And my brother was like, do they still have the wooden escalators? And I was like, I didn't go inside. I guess that was a missed opportunity.
Two things I never thought would go together: wood and escalators.
Yeah, I'd already had a very great escalator experience that weekend, so
you can't beat that.
No.
Yeah.
I saw like they had like spray painted like advertisements for the play like on the street, like
that's
and
cool.
I saw one for not the Stranger Things play, for Sadie's play, but that was pretty cool. It was like I saw Goody Proctor with villain tickets or something like that. It was cute.
Goody Proctor. Yeah. I love it.
And then I got my bus home. So
that sounds like, I mean, bummed that I missed it, but you know, I had COVID. I would have infected you all.
Yeah.
But it sounds like, and I'm not a big city person, even though I live close to Boston. I don't tend to go to the city much, but I think you were very smart to have planned what you planned. I like that you guys all had fun. I love that you were able to meet up with some of our friends. You had 2 great shows in one weekend, and you got to meet Sadie and the Duffers and hear Keery's music ahead of time. So like, what would you rank it out of Demogorgons?
I mean,
out of 5 Demogorgons.
Out of 5 Demogorgons, like 7.
See, that's a good weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I was there because you gave me all the deets, you know?
Yeah.
And like I said, you had so many extra tickets because of COVID.
I know.
And,
Poor
you know,
Stacey.
it all worked out.
Yeah.
But, you know, thank you for checking on me and thank you for my Polaroid. I cannot wait to get it. But
well, I'll see you soon, so you'll get to get it from me in person.
Yeah, poor Megan. I'm going to be haunting her on my spring break, you know, driving down to Maryland to chill. But it should be exciting. And, you know, we got some shows coming up. We're going to do Philly together. You know, you're going to do DC. I'm going to do Boston. Then you're going to do some New York shows. So that should be
going
fun.
Back to Brooklyn. So some of the people I met at the record store will be there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
they're going to be there. I love that. I know. I got to start researching the venues, just what they look like and stuff. But pretty excited about that. But no, definitely maybe we'll have to pull some puppet strings this summer and see if we can go to the Big Apple. You know, I'll definitely get hit by a cab.
I'd love to get you back there.
girl, when you showed me that lit up sign of Kiri in Times Square, I'm like, this was meant to be. I would have Buddy the Elfed it, you know?
Yeah, I didn't see that in person, unfortunately.
Could you
but
imagine?
I don't know what I would do if I saw that in person.
Just screams. Yeah. Get rid of all the onions. But no, this was lovely. You know, makes me feel so much better that you guys had such a great time.
We did.
You know, I'm getting healthy, so, you know, I don't get you sick.
Yeah, no.
You'll kill me. But no, we got some fun stuff planned coming up on the old broadcast.
Yep.
And we can't wait for you guys to go on this journey with us.
Exactly. We're going to keep reporting back for sure.
For sure.
All right, I think that's it because I talked a lot, so we're going to be done for the day.
We are. So, you know, no segments, no merch, no filming updates, but maybe the next episode, who knows?
Yeah.
But just stay tuned, you know, on our socials, and we got some Joe mini episodes coming up, so can't wait.
Peace out. Over and out.
Over and out. For notice for the main episode.